Yes, guys, welcome back to AGTV. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have just beaten West Ham 6-0 at the London Stadium, and where we got that performance, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Arsenal have started playing like this and why we've started playing like this, but I don't want Arsenal to stop. I love these performances. I love these goals, especially ever since we came back from Dubai. Arsenal have scored goals for fun. 3 against Liverpool, 6 against West Ham. I can't believe that. A team that has beaten us on 3 occasions, by the way, this campaign. And also, just to put it out there, we have beaten Crystal Palace 5-0 as well. So it means that Arsenal have now scored a total of, I think, around 15 goals. Is it 15 or even more than that? 16 goals actually in 4 games ever since we came back from Dubai. How we have done it, I don't know, right? I don't know what Mikel Arteta told the players when they went out to the trip in Dubai. I don't know what kind of training they did. It is working. It is absolutely working. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know who was your man of the match. We have 4 candidates for this one. Bukayo Saka with a brace, obviously. Declan Rice, I thought he was absolutely unplayable today. He was very good. Gabriel, in my opinion, Gabriel Magalhaes, very good performance from that guy, and you've got to love him. And Martin Odegaard, I thought Odegaard was brilliant as well. So who was your man of the match in this match, and why? Probably in the comment box below, let me know. I'm going to go with Declan Rice because this has been a very difficult game for him. It's been a very difficult fixture ever since we signed him. I think he's done all right in all the other fixtures, even when we lost to Liverpool, in the FA Cup. He was good. Even when we lost to to Fulham in the Premier League, he was good. But this is the only fixture that he's not played well. This is the only game where the pressures kind of got to him. And it's not about the price tag. It's about the fans singing, his name and bowing him. It's about, every West Ham fan coming to make sure that he doesn't put in a good performance. It's about him, being disturbed by the fact that he was at West Ham. And in this game, he has scored an absolute cracker. That is, he has also made sure that Arsenal have total control and absolute control of this game. What a performance from Declan. I know Bukayo Saka has got a brace, and that has been a very big milestone for my boy. But I'm going to go with Decaz. I'm going to go with Declan Rice. Decaz, what a performance, my boy. That was very good. So there's a lot to talk about on the performance. Let's start off with a 6-0. Okay, let's start off with a 6-0. Where did we get that? Where did Arsenal really get a 6-0 thriller from? Like, this is not Arsenal. This is not the Arsenal we know. The Arsenal we know struggles to score goals. At least this season we've struggled to score goals. The Arsenal we know doesn't really pump West Ham at the London Stadium 6-0. The Arsenal we know really doesn't do these things. And somehow, the Arsenal that we cannot recognize anymore has absolutely annihilated West Ham, and David Moyes is in absolute disarray. They must be disorganized right now. They must be discombobulated at the moment. Now, for me, I'm not going to say this is it. I'm not going to say this is the Arsenal. But what I'm going to say is thank you to Mikel Arteta and thank you to this group of players for putting in the initiative to solve the problems that we have had this campaign. I don't think defensively we have been susceptible to to any kind of threat, and I still think Arsenal are not susceptible to any kind of threat defensively. But our problem has been, why don't we score goals? How are we going to score goals? And we don't score goals, and that has been our biggest problem. For Mikel Arteta to turn this around within a couple of weeks, within a couple of days, and the team is now scoring goals, kudos to Mikel Arteta, kudos to these boys. They've absolutely understood our pain. There is nothing more painful than you losing silverware or than you losing a title race because you're creating good chances, you're creating more chances than any other team in the league, but you cannot score the goals. It's painful, and it was painful for me, and Arsenal have just corrected that. 6-0, boy oh boy, West Ham, you have got to sleep on that. That is painful. That is absolutely painful. Now, the performance for me, and I don't know whether all of you will agree with me. The performance is not because Arsenal are very good. The performance is also because West Ham were actually poor on the evening, right? And I looked at their performance and I'm like, this is very poor. This is very poor from West Ham. It is very easy for Arsenal. But we've always said you can only beat what is in front of you. If West Ham come and they don't put in the good performance that you expect them to, and they don't show you the level of intelligence that you know they can put in, then you've got to absolutely annihilate them. You've got to absolutely disintegrate them. And that's what Arsenal have done. And for me, the key parts of this performance are three. Take your chances when you get them. Arsenal have done that. At half time, 4 goals, right? And that is a result of Arsenal taking almost each and every chance that we created at half time. The second key lesson is bury games at half time. That is it. Bury games at half time. And these are the 3 pillars we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about taking your chances, something that Arsenal have now started doing. We're going to talk about for me, burying games at half time, and we're going to talk about something very important: consistency. This is Arsenal now, winning 4 games in a row in the Premier League ever since we came back. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It is why Liverpool are good. It's why Manchester City are good. It's why Manchester City win every title. It's why Liverpool are always fighting with Manchester City for every title. Consistency, consistency, consistency. So let's start off with point number 1. Chances created, chances buried. It's a no-brainer. You look at what Arsenal did when we were heading off for Dubai. We lost to Fulham in a game where Fulham deserved every part of that win. You look at that game against West Ham scoring 2 goals to nil. We didn't take our chances. And same story against Aston Villa. We lost 1-0. We didn't take our chances. The same story against Liverpool. 1-1 at the Anfield. We didn't take our chances. That is the only disaster you cannot deal away with. When you're not scoring goals, you have no points. When you're not scoring goals, you're not anywhere close to doing anything meaningful for yourself in any competition. And that was my scare. Was it that we were not scoring goals because we don't have a striker, or was it because these players who we know did it last season were actually dropping off, right? What we have seen from Arsenal since Dubai is Mikel Arteta's men taking the initiative, trying to score goals by themselves, not just as a team. We have seen Bukayo Saka, some of the goals he scored ever since he came back from Dubai. Those are personal goals. The same with Gabriel Martinelli. Get into good positions and try to score, right? It's as simple as that. Make the right decisions in the right places at the right time. And that's what we have tried to do. And I love it. I really, really do. I think it puts us in a very much better position. We're going to talk about the title race now, because this is not Arsenal blowing the title race wide open. This is Arsenal asking questions of the people leading us, of the clubs leading us in the title race, that, hey, do you think you can sustain this, right? Now, will Arsenal win every single game we are left with? I don't think so. I think Arsenal will maybe drop points. Maybe Arsenal will lose a game. Maybe we will draw a game. But so will Liverpool, and so will Manchester City. I won't be surprised if Arsenal go to Man City and pick up a draw. I won't be surprised if Arsenal go to Manchester City and win 1-0. I won't be surprised if Arsenal lose to Man City 2-0 or 2-1. Right? Because for me, that is the beauty of the Premier League. That is the beauty of football. There is that kind of jeopardy that you always expect. So, for me, right now, we have dealt with the most important thing: scoring goals from opportunities that should be barred. And I know Mikel Arteta will look at the recent run of form at for Aston Villa, and he will feel disoriented. Why? Because Villa at home have lost to Chelsea in the last 3 games. They've lost to Chelsea, they've lost to, I think, Liverpool, and they've also lost to Manchester United and Newcastle actually. So that tells you something. That means that you had to beat Villa. That means that we had to beat Villa. We had to beat Villa at the Villa Park, because everyone else, even Manchester United, who are 11 points behind Arsenal, have managed to do it. And they've done it very, very comfortably. So that is point number 1. Point number 2, bury games at half time if you can. And this is something very, very, very important. We did it last campaign in the first part of the season, and Arsenal were cruising. We were in a very much better position. We were in a different place. I think burying games at half time allows you something we have seen today. Mikel Arteta, bringing in the likes of Mo Elneny, bringing on the likes of Cedric, bringing on the likes of Ethan Nwaneri for some game time. That is important squad rotation. Ethan Nwaneri is not going to start another Arsenal game, or is not going to start an Arsenal game this campaign, whether we have enough players or not. It's the same thing with Mohamed Elneny. It's the same thing with Cedric Soares. But can you bring them on just to save the energy of the players they're replacing? Can you bring on Eris Nelson to replace Saka, to save Saka's energy? Can you bring on maybe Ethan Nwaneri for Gabriel Martinelli to save Gabriel Martinelli's energy? Because we are going to need these players to be fully fit and fully running and fully available in the next run of games. FC Porto is coming up, which is a very difficult fixture for us. But not only that, not only FC Porto, we have a couple of games that are going to be very hectic. From now, we go on to Burnley and then Chelsea, and then I think Newcastle and Manchester City. So how do we go through that run of games? How do we make sure that by the time we are out of those run of games, we are still contenders for the title and we are still within reach for Manchester City, with Manchester City, and we're still within touch with Liverpool? I think the way you do that is you bury games at half time and rotate some of your most important players. But also, I think winning comfortable gives the team better morale. I don't think this game is as the same as Liverpool at the Emirates. I think this is a very different game. I think players will come against Burnley very confident and very, 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 motivated. Very motivated. This is a performance that injects an extra bit of motivation in the side. This is a performance that makes you dream again. It's not only the fans, it's the players as well. You've seen the way they play today after beating Liverpool, and I said it in my match preview. When you beat Liverpool 3-1, it doesn't leave you at the same sign. It does two things. One, it can cause tired legs and burnout, and therefore you go into the next game and you cannot put up a performance that all these other teams are putting in because you're tired. You literally did a lot against Liverpool. Or it can give you a lot of motivation and you just peruse through the next opponent. That is what Arsenal done, and I really, really like it. So the third point, and I think this is absolutely very, very key, right? So everyone is going to go out there and say, well, Arsenal now are in the title race and everything and all that. I think we have just written a statement to the two teams at the top that we are coming for you. And I think Liverpool are a good side. I think Man City are a very good side. And everybody knows that, right? It's not about my opinions. It's about the facts. City are better than Arsenal, and maybe Liverpool are at the same level as Arsenal, but they have the ability to continue winning almost every single game, right? We'll see how they do against the likes of Newcastle, Brighton, and these little stubborn sides. But for now, they've absolutely done very, very well. Okay, so for me, now Arsenal have to win every game. Now we have to go in every single game knowing it's either 3 points or it's curtains for us. We cannot afford any luxuries. We cannot afford any mistakes. It is now or never. This is the most interesting title race because you look at Man City, they have won 5 out of their last 5 games. Liverpool have won 4 of their last 5, and Arsenal have now won 4 of their last 5. And both these teams, Liverpool and Arsenal, have got the ability to win 5 out of 5 next weekend. So that means that we might see a weekend, we might see a run, a title race, where 3 teams have gone 6-7 games winning, or winning streaks of 6, 7, 8, 9 games. And if Arsenal can keep up that, and maybe one of these teams loses points, drops points, I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna be. But let me know in the comment box below what you think about the performance. It was electric. It was absolutely electric, and I loved it, and I loved every part of it. If Arsenal don't disappoint me, we will beat Burnley, and if we beat Burnley, and one of Manchester City or Liverpool drops points that weekend, then we can be dreaming something even bigger.